Nobody saw this coming. What started as a messy online feud has now exploded into real-life chaos outside a courthouse, and this time, Baby Jr. is at the center of it all. In a moment caught on camera and now spreading like wildfire across social media, Chrisean Rock was seen screaming, crying, and banging on a courtroom door while CPS officers walked out carrying a child wrapped in a blue blanket. And the person who reportedly made the call that started it all, none other than Blueface's mother, Khaleesa. Insiders claim Khaleesa had had enough of Chrisean's unfit behavior and took matters into her own hands by contacting Child Protective Services and allegedly handing over private recordings and screenshots as evidence. The internet is in chaos. Fans are split. And chilling footage from outside the courthouse has viewers asking one terrifying question. Is this the end for Chrisean as a mother? What exactly was in that CPS report? Why was Baby Jr. removed so suddenly? And how is Chrisean planning to fight back? You won't believe what really happened and who might be behind it all. It didn't happen overnight. The seeds of this shocking moment were planted months ago, buried beneath a mountain of toxic posts, live arguments, and bitter accusations. And at the center of it all, the volatile, never-ending war between Chrisean Rock, Blueface, and his outspoken mother, Khaleesa. From the very beginning, Chrisean's relationship with Blueface wasn't just messy, it was explosive. Their fights went viral, their makeups became memes, and their breakdowns, they were live-streamed for the world to see. But what once seemed like entertainment quickly spiraled into something darker. Fans watched as Chrisean went from posting selfies and music snippets to crying on live, accusing Blueface of abuse, and showing up bruised, confused, and alone. Then came the pregnancy, and for a brief moment, the chaos paused. But peace was short. Lived. As Baby Jr. entered the world, so did new layers of drama. Blueface was inconsistent. Sometimes he was supportive, other times he was gone for days. Meanwhile, Khaleesa took to social media accusing Chrisean of being irresponsible, dangerous, and not fit to be a mother. And people listened. Clips of Chrisean arguing with security, getting into fights at public events, and even wandering live streams with the baby in hand had fans divided. Some defended her. She's young, she's learning, leave her alone. But others, including insiders close to the family, started questioning how safe Baby Jr. really was. Behind closed doors, Blueface's family grew more vocal. Khaleesa allegedly started recording everything. Every argument, every crying fit. Every moment she claimed showed neglect. And when a live video surfaced of Chrisean getting into a heated altercation outside a studio, while Baby Jr. could be heard crying in the background, it sent shockwaves across the internet. Child Protective Services reportedly received multiple calls. But the breaking point, an alleged private group chat leaked last week showing Khaleesa discussing plans to take custody of the baby. In the chat, she reportedly wrote, "I'll do whatever it takes. I'm not letting my grandson grow up in that madness." When confronted, Khaleesa didn't deny it. Instead, she went live ranting, pacing, and saying, "I'm not going to stand by and watch that girl ruin my family." What was once a passive-aggressive feud turned into an all-out custody war. Blueface, for the most part, remained silent. But that silence only made things worse. Fans began to speculate. Was he backing his mom? Was he letting her do the dirty work? Or was he preparing to take legal steps himself? Now with Chrisean filmed screaming outside the courthouse as CPS officers walked away with Baby Jr. The timeline suddenly makes sense, and it's more terrifying than anyone expected. The morning was eerily quiet until a black SUV pulled up outside the downtown family courthouse. What followed would set social media on fire within minutes. An eyewitness captured the moment it all unfolded. Chrisean Rock, visibly distressed and shouting at the top of her lungs, sprinted toward the building's entrance barefoot, holding what looked like a stack of court papers in one hand and her phone in the other. Her voice cracked as she screamed, "They can't take him. That's my baby. You can't do this." Inside that SUV, Child Protective Services were escorting baby Junior calm, swaddled, and unaware of the chaos surrounding him into protective custody. No one expected it to escalate so fast. No one thought it would get this real. But Carlisa? She allegedly planned every second, according to a leaked voice memo which surfaced on a fan run. Instagram account hours later, Carlisa is heard calmly saying, "I told y'all, CPS moves fast when you give them proof. And I gave them everything they needed." That proof reportedly included video clips, photos, audio files, and written statements, all collected over weeks. Sources close to the case say the footage included moments where Chrisean allegedly left the baby unattended during a party, fell asleep while holding him near open liquor bottles, and even dropped her phone while live streaming, exposing an entire room full of smoke and loud music with baby Junior nearby. Whether these clips were taken out of context or not no longer mattered. The damage was done. Fans immediately rushed to defend or condemn her. This is heartbreaking. She needs help, not punishment. Where's Blueface in all of this? He's the father. Where is he? Carlisa is doing too much. She's not the mother, but others saw it differently. Someone had to step in. That baby deserves stability. I knew something was coming. You could see the chaos in every one of her lives. This isn't about hate. It's about protection. But the real shock came later that evening, when an anonymous CPS worker allegedly leaked internal details to a local gossip blog. According to this insider, Chrisean had already been flagged multiple times for erratic behavior. CPS had received 4 prior reports from concerned parties but didn't act until this week, when 2 new complaints came in. One from a security guard at a hotel, and the other from a nurse at a private pediatric clinic. The nurse's complaint: allegedly, baby Junior arrived for a wellness check smelling of marijuana, with clothes that were soaked in milk and visibly dirty. Again, none of this has been confirmed. But it didn't stop the internet from erupting. And then came the twist of Blueface's. Silence wasn't accidental. Hours after Chrisean's meltdown went viral, he posted a cryptic story on Instagram. "Sometimes you've got to choose peace, even if it breaks you." No names, no context. But the timing, suspicious, and the comments section. Ruthless. Did you just let your mom take your son? You're a coward. Stand up for your baby's mother. So this is what co-parenting looks like. Silence and betrayal. But it got worse. At exactly 9:47 p.m. a shocking live stream surfaced on TikTok, allegedly from someone parked across the street. The shaky video showed Blueface walking out of the courthouse, alone, flanked by 2 men who looked like lawyers. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't angry. He looked defeated. Some fans speculated he had just signed over temporary custody to his mother. Others believed he had agreed to supervised visits only as a compromise until Chrisean could prove her stability. But whatever the truth is, Chrisean had no idea. That night, she went live again, tear-streaked, trembling, and holding one of baby JR's favorite blankets. "They took him like I'm a monster. I love my son. Would never hurt him. Never." She paused. As the internet scrambled to track Chrisean's whereabouts, a new storm was already brewing. And this time, it was bigger than anyone expected. Just after midnight, a new account appeared on X, formerly Twitter, with the handle @InsiderJuniorTruth. And it sent shockwaves through the fan base with a thread of 11 explosive posts. The first tweet simply read, "I worked at CPS. I saw what happened. Y'all have no idea what this is really about?" Then came the bombshells. Post number 2. This wasn't about one video. It's a whole digital folder titled Rock Evidence, over 80 files. Post number 5. Blueface didn't want the baby. It's why he didn't fight. This was planned. Post number 9. Carlisa said on a recorded call, "She gonna thank me later when that baby grows up safe." Screenshots allegedly showed internal CPS file names, partial reports with dates, and one chilling line. Mother exhibits extreme emotional instability and public meltdowns that may endanger the child's mental development. The account was suspended within an hour. But not before the screenshots went viral, reposted across Instagram, Facebook, Reddit, and even YouTube reaction videos. Meanwhile, Chrisean's silence continued to fuel even wilder theories. Some fans believed she was hiding out in Baltimore with family. Others swore they saw her car outside a Los Angeles hotel. But then booma, new twist dropped. Security footage leaked from the courthouse's back exit. And in that footage, Chrisean was seen running down the hallway past CPS workers screaming at security guards trying to break into a side room. One officer reached for her arm, and she pushed him away, shouting, "He's mine. You don't get to just take him." The camera timestamp read 3:42 p.m., just 20 minutes after baby Junior had been escorted out of the building. This clip, once again, divided the internet. She's grieving like a mother who lost everything. But this is exactly why CPS got involved. This is instability. I don't blame her for reacting like that. I'd do worse. Then, as if things couldn't spiral any further, major celebrity weighed in. Singer Summer Walker, who's had her own battles with public motherhood, went live on Instagram and said, "Listen, y'all crucifying Chrisean, but where's the energy for the father? I don't care what she's done. She's been alone through all this." Her live stream gained over 1.2 million views in 6 hours, with fans flooding the comments, "Thank you for speaking up." Finally, someone with a platform telling the truth. Now, they can't ignore this anymore. And then, like a ghost, Chrisean resurfaced. She posted a cryptic Insta story, a black screen, white text, "They want to break me, but I'm built different." No location, no voice, no follow-up. But what came next? Even her fans didn't expect. An anonymous TikTok user posted a voice message allegedly sent by Blueface's attorney to a private group chat. In the 12-second clip, the voice said temporary placement is secured. No contact for Chrisean until mental evil is completed. Blueface declined joint custody petition. If real, this meant Blueface had sided with CPS, that he wasn't just silent, he was actively removing himself from the picture and letting the system take over. And suddenly the narrative flipped. Now it wasn't just Chrisean under fire. Blueface was too. Memes exploded. Baby mama got heart. Baby daddy got silence. Carlissa raised a man who runs when it gets hard. Chrisean fought, Blueface folded. Even fans who once criticized Chrisean were starting to ask, wait, why didn't he stop this? Was this whole thing set up from the start? Was Carlissa acting alone? Or was this always the plan? K1 fan wrote, "This is a custody chess game." Kay and Chrisean walked in thinking it was love. The backlash reached a boiling point when Blueface finally posted. Again, this time on live. He was in his backyard, quiet, holding a cigar, and his words: "Sometimes protecting a child means making decisions that hurt people you care about. It don't mean I don't love them. But I'm not gonna let my son grow up in chaos." It's no mention of Chrisean by name. No details about the case, just that . And with that, he ended the live . Now, the stage is set for a war. A mother without her child, a father playing the role of ghost, a grandmother pulling strings in the background, and the whole internet watching. It unfolds second by second. But there's one final twist still to come. And it'll flip everything upside down as the footage of Chrisean screaming outside the courthouse continued to go viral. It became more than just a moment. It became a movement. #Justice for Chris EAN started trending across platforms within hours. Celebrities, influencers, and even former Love and Hip Hop cast members chimed in. And the reactions were explosive. First came Tokyo Vanity, who posted a 3-minute video on Instagram. "Look, CPS don't just snatch kids for fun. but I been watching what y'all saying. And if this was any other girl that didn't come from TV, y'all would be calling this what it is, a setup. Her words sent shockwaves. Thousands commented, Tokyo speaking facts. This was never about the baby. This was about control. They trying to silence Chrisean by taking what she loves most. Then came Bambi, who added fuel to the fire with a cryptic story. Some people ain't unfit, they just ain't protected. Fans were quick to connect the dots. Was Bambi referring to Chrisean? Or was she hinting that the industry itself was behind this takedown? But it wasn't just celebrities. Even politicians began commenting. A local Los Angeles City Councilwoman tweeted, removing children from a mother should never be a first resort. This case deserves transparency. And with that, the mainstream media picked up the story. Headlines flooded in. TMZ, Chrisean rocks. Meltdown caught on tape. CPS under fire for dramatic removal. Shade room. Blueface's mom speaks. Out says she did what was right for her grandson. Hollywood unlocked. Celebs defend Chrisean as custody war explodes online. Every comment section was a battleground, some said. She's been spiraling for months. She needs help, not a baby, others fired back. She's been holding that baby alone. Where was everyone then? Then, just when it seemed like the internet couldn't get louder, it did. A verified CPS whistleblower account posted a thread saying internal pressure was mounting to review the decision. A post read. CPS doesn't exist to punish moms for being emotional. If the reports were exaggerated or biased, expect a reversal soon. This triggered an online petition. Bring Baby Jr. back to Chrisean Rock, and within 6 hours, it had 250,000 plus. Signatures. The backlash against Blueface also intensified. Why is he silent while the mother of his child breaks down in public? If he had any integrity, he'd be fighting too. Carlisa did his dirty work. He's just watching. Even Blueface's past interviews resurfaced, especially one where he casually said, I never wanted to be a dad. That's her baby. This, quote, blew up on TikTok with influencers reacting. Now it all makes sense. This man gave CPS the green light without lifting a finger. He weaponized the system against her. Meanwhile, Chrisean's fan base was galvanized. Fan pages posted tributes, videos of her caring for Baby Jr., and montages of her talking about motherhood in interviews. Even her critics started softening. I don't like all her drama. She don't deserve this. You can't fake that kind of love for a child. Her whole life she's been fighting for peace. Now they take her baby. NDUSTRY insiders claim several reality producers are already reaching out to Chrisean for interviews, exclusives, and documentary deals. This is bigger than Love and Hip Hop. This is a custody war being played out in real time, and networks want in. But behind the scenes, legal experts began to warn. The situation may be irreversible. One family attorney said on a podcast, if a judge grants emergency placement and mental health review, it can be months before the mother sees her child again, especially if the father or grandmother push for full custody. And that's when another twist hit the fan base like a hammer. A leaked screenshot of an alleged court document surfaced. At the bottom, it read, temporary custody granted to maternal grandmother. Supervised visitation only. Fans were confused. Maternal. Was Baby Jr. now with Chrisean's mother? Or was this a mistake? Had someone altered the document? The speculation became unhinged. Is this a legal trick to make Chrisean look unfit? Her own mother betray her? Is this whole system stacked against her? People demanded answers. CPS remained silent, and Chrisean posted nothing new. But in the chaos, one thing was clear. This wasn't just a celebrity scandal anymore. It was a movement, a debate, a full-blown war about motherhood, power, and justice. And everyone watching had the same question. What happens next? And can Chrisean survive it? Just when things couldn't get any darker for Chrisean, an unexpected voice broke the silence, and it changed everything. In a surprise move that no one saw coming, Jaden Alexis, Blueface's ex and the mother of his other child, went live on Instagram with a cryptic caption, "Truth time. I can't hold this in no more." Viewers flooded in by the thousands, and within minutes, she dropped the biggest bombshell yet. This wasn't about the baby. It was a setup planned, and I got the proof. The chat exploded. In her live stream, Jaden claimed that Carlissa and Blueface had been planning to get custody for weeks, even discussing legal angles, psychological evaluations, and media spin. But the most chilling part? She played what she said was a recorded conversation between her and Blueface. And in it, voice sounding unmistakably like Blueface said, "We get that baby out of her hands, she'll gone fold. She don't got the money to fight it. Mom already? Taken to a lawyer." The internet stopped breathing. Was this the smoking gun? Blueface orchestrating the entire takedown? Not for the child's safety, but to control Chrisean. Within minutes, clips from Jaden's live were reposted by every gossip blog, every celebrity tea page, and every TikTok account dedicated to Chrisean Rock Updates. Hashtags like hashtag setup theory and hashtag justice for Chris, EAN, began trending again. But that's not all. A second clip began circulating, one that hadn't been posted by Jaden or any insider. It came from a security camera near the courthouse. In it, just minutes before Chrisean was seen screaming, a black SUV pulled up and outstepped Carlissa holding a folder. The timestamp matched the exact moment baby Junior was removed. What was in that folder? According to anonymous DMs sent to Hollywood Unlocked, it was allegedly a signed affidavit from someone claiming to witness Chrisean leave the child unattended during a recent event. But here's the twist. Multiple eyewitnesses from that same event came forward online, saying, "That never happened. She was holding that baby the whole time. This is a smear campaign." Suddenly, the narrative flipped again. People started asking, who really filed that affidavit? Was it coerced? Was it fake? And that's when the final twist shattered. Whatever trust remained. A Twitter thread began to go viral from a verified court clerk account, claiming that the judge who approved the CPS action had ties to Blueface's attorney. I'm not saying it was intentional, but the judge used to work for the firm representing Blueface. Conflict of interest. Boom. Now, it wasn't just about Chrisean or baby JR. This was about legal corruption, media manipulation, and the weaponization of influence. And in the middle of it all, a mother, alone, heartbroken, fighting to get her son back, as fans begged Chrisean to speak. She finally posted a short, emotional voice note on her close friend's story. "They thought tacking my baby would break me, but it only made me hungrier. Wait till you see what's cumin." With that, silence, no new posts, no interviews, no confirmation or denial of the leaked call. But behind the scenes, insiders are now saying a federal investigation might be underway. Someone high up didn't like how this played out. If even half of what Jaden said is true, this could blow up big. And just when you think it's over, the teaser for an upcoming documentary surfaced. The title, Taken. The Chrisean Rock story, and the final line of the trailer. You watched the drama, now it's time to hear the truth. And just like that, the internet is on fire. What began as whispers in comment sections has now erupted into full-blown war with Child Protective Services. Leaked recordings, exes, and courtroom connections, all tangled in a web so twisted, even fans don't know who to trust anymore. But one thing is crystal clear. This story isn't over. Not even close. From Jaden's bombshell to the possible judicial conflict of interest. And now with the teaser for Chrisean's tell-all documentary dropping, something massive is brewing behind the scenes. So now we ask you, the viewers, the only people who can really decide what's right and what's wrong, do you believe Chrisean was set up by Blueface and his mother? Do you think CPS made the right decision? Or were they manipulated by powerful hands? Most importantly, should baby Junior be returned to Chrisean? We want to hear your thoughts in the comments right now. Was this justice or a setup? Tap that like button if this